Hello Gofounders family around the world. I'd like to briefly share something with you all that I think many of you will enjoy. My day started out like so many of my days do in so many ways, but something was different this time. What was different was I had a certain person in my thoughts, and for the life of me I could not figure out why the thoughts were so strong. That person on my mind was our dearly beloved lost Onpassive leader, Scott Nelson. As so many of you know, Scott was a huge part of our business from the very early days up until he was called home at the end of last year. Anyway, I went about my morning as usual, but as the morning wore on, the thoughts of Scott persisted, and it was as if I was being persuaded by some force to come back to our Gofounders back office and watch the tribute to Scott Nelson webinar from early January. As I sat there watching, it became very clear as to why I was doing this. Although I did not realize it at first, I needed to hear the message from that webinar. Reason being, 6 years ago next week my youngest son experienced a life-altering event that will forever change his life and that of our family. It weighs heavily on me each year at this time, and I struggle with it. So, I sat here listening to that webinar, and realized it was sending a message of hope. And that was exactly what I needed at this time: hope that the future brings better days. Hope that what life has dealt us can be accepted for what it is, and to use it to see life a little bit differently. Sometimes, as we all know, life is not always fair. And as I listened to Ash, Cindy, and others in that webinar, I realized Scott Nelson has left an indelible imprint on my soul. His courage and spirit when facing the most difficult of times has set an example for me, in my life, to be a better person, to not stand in fear of the unknown, and above all to keep the faith that we are beholden to a higher power. I did not know Scott, but found him to be a bright light of inspiration and courage. Listening to him from past webinars was always uplifting. His presence in spirit will always be here with us to remind us we are merely human and that faith is healing. I will never have the honor of meeting Mr. Nelson while part of this human endeavor, but despite that, I will always remember him as a caring individual bursting with empathy, compassion, and love for his fellow man. We were very blessed to have him among us, even if for just a short period of time. May his soul rest in eternal peace. I will continue on, now reinvigorated by his message, to be a stronger and better person. After Onpassive launches, I want to use that inspiration to the benefit of those in need. As founders, we all are being given a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to stand above the crowd and make a difference in the lives of so many who need it so bad. Let's not ever forget our purpose here is not to acquire material things to make ourselves happy. I believe true happiness starts within your heart when you can be a positive in someone's life. Long live the spirit of Scott Nelson in Onpassive. I know he is here with us. I know he would be proud of how far we've come. Now let's do this. Let's make a difference. To me, that is what In It to Win It is all about.